terms of the receivers? Who's the star on Saturday?
I mean, you got to go out there and see. I think everybody play well, do their jobs, and I mean, that's all that really matters.
Can you just describe how this could be kind of a launching point for 2022 with the young receivers? Those are the guys you're going to be counting on next year anyway. Could this be kind of a blessing that you're getting this kind of opportunity with them?
Yeah, those guys are young and they ain't really played yet, so it's a good opportunity for them to get their feet wet. Julian's played, but Marvin really hasn't, and then Emeka. So, I mean, it's just a good opportunity for them to get their feet wet and, of course, like you said, just jumpstart for next year.
You being in this position as far as being the quarterback and obviously playing in a big ball game and being a black quarterback, how much does this influence as far as the younger kids that are watching you on January 1st?
I think it's a big influence. I think growing up, watching other young black quarterbacks like myself, but in a different time setting, it was like a big inspiration for me just to let myself know I can do it. So I definitely think that it could be a boost for, I mean, who knows what type of kid. It can be black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? I just want to inspire young kids to know they can do it just like I am. So I think it's a big blessing and a big inspiration.
Who are some of the quarterbacks that you grew up watching that inspired you to be in that position?
I was watching quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, Michael Vick, Cam Newton. I mean, of course, like the older guys, my dad used to make me watch them, was like Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham, and just like showing me the way that they paved for us to even be in this opportunity. Because back in the day, we weren't allowed to play quarterback, you know what I mean? Or we weren't wanted to play quarterback because they didn't think we had the smarts for it. So I definitely think that me being in this platform is a blessing.
Do you feel like being in the position with you and guys like Bryce Young and up-and-comers really would be able to expand the game for, like you said, minorities and younger kids as well to see you guys have success?
For sure, yeah. I think it's a great thing. I mean, especially when you're coming from where we come from in Southern California. You don't really see too many young black quarterbacks make it out, but I mean, I think we're starting to pave the way. Like, we have other quarterbacks as well, like Jane Daniels at Arizona State and DJ at Clemson, and we have a lot of guys out here balling out in college and even in the pros. So I think it's just a blessing.
CJ,
When
as a
you talk
Cali
about,
kid,
there's been a lot of talk here in Southern California about the quarterbacks that have gone.
One more time, I can't hear you.
There's been a lot of talk here in Southern California this year about the quarterbacks from here that have succeeded elsewhere. When you're being recruited, what's the appeal of going elsewhere instead of staying here, because it's something that used to not happen?
I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak for everybody, but me personally, the local schools didn't really recruit me hard until the very end. So, and to me, I'll never be a second choice. So, I mean, Ohio State, they showed me love from the beginning. Other schools did as well that were not on the West, but a lot of West Coast schools dropped interest on me. So, I mean, I really didn't take it to heart. I just like, man, I just got to go play somewhere else. But it is what it is. I'm blessed to even be where I'm at. So.
The first time you ever were aware of Ohio State, do you remember the first time you made an impression?
It was at the opening when I played with G. Scott and Julian Fleming and Legend Cavazos at the opening camp in my junior year. They were trying to get me to commit to Ohio State then. I didn't even have an offer. So.
CJ, as a Cali kid, what's the mindset going into the Rose Bowl? What does this game sort of mean to you?
Just to have fun. I mean, I'm not gonna overthink it or do too much. I'm gonna just have fun with it. Still go through my preparation like I always do, and I mean, hopefully I go out there and play well. So I mean, I'm not blown out of proportion by any means. I just want to play well.
Did you watch the game as a kid?
Yeah, of course I did. I watched all football games, not just the Rose Bowl, but of course the Rose Bowl is very unique and has a lot of tradition. So.
CJ, being
going from basically first-time starter to being a Heisman finalist and stuff, how have you sort of like, I don't know, changed the way you look at maybe even yourself? I know you're still a humble guy. You know, your faith is deep-rooted and stuff. But is it interesting how many eyes are on you now, as opposed to like you said when you were being recruited?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's anybody in college, not just me. Yeah, it's a blessing to be able to have the opportunity just to go play this game. I'm not anything special to me. I'm just myself. I don't really think of myself as like a superhero or anything like that. But I just think I go out there and I try to do my job. So I mean, yeah, it's truly a blessing. But it does sometimes get overwhelming with all the people and all the like dealing with y'all, the media. It's not my first time, but it's at a bigger scale. So, and that's the one thing I just had to get used to.
You know, I was over here talking to Jackson. I mean, the beat goes on with the Ohio State receiving corps, even though two of the great receivers in history are gone and stuff. What are you looking at 2022? Are you looking at this game as like finishing off the season, or more of a step into the next year also, from the standpoint of what's coming from that receiving corps?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, of course, you want to finish the season the right way. I think we've had a decent year. I mean, of course, we're not where we want to be, but we're somewhere. So, I mean, that just speaks volume. And I think that, I mean, if we go out here and play well, I mean, that'll be a big-time win. And then, of course, that'll jumpstart you into the next year. You don't want to go into the next year with two bad tastes in your mouth. So.
Is there one of those young guys that's really caught your eye in bowl prep? I'm talking about, you know, the Emeka, Marvin Harrison Jr., Julian Fleming. Is one of those guys really stepped up in your mind?
Yeah, they all have. I mean, they've been good since fall camp. It's just, I mean, you have two older guys like Chris and Garrett. It's hard to get on the field, you know what I'm saying? And Jackson's playing really well. So, I mean, I feel like, God forbid, if somebody went down this year and they had to step up, they would have no problem. I mean, they've been great since they got here. They lift hard, they run hard, they do everything they need to do. They're good in school, so they do all the things the right way. So, I mean, I think that'll pay off for them.
I think everybody would say that a place like Ohio State and Alabama, the game day atmosphere is probably more intense and exciting as it has been here for some of these schools. How much does that influence this phenomenon of quarterbacks and other players leaving Southern California?
Yeah, I mean, I think that does play a big part in it because you go to these USC and UCLA games and, quite honest, it's just kind of boring. It's not a lot of people. Fans aren't really like in tune. They kind of just are there. You know what I mean? Just on vacation and whatnot. But you go to these other schools like out of state, and their fans are kind of like fanatics. They don't really care what people think about them. They're wearing all type of stuff. They're yelling at the top of their lungs. But with that comes great responsibility. Of you do get criticism with that as well. So I mean, it's a slippery slope. It's a two-way street. So if you want a lot of fans to be supporting you, they'll be hating on you as well. So. I mean, I definitely think that it does play a big part of leaving home because you just want that type of support.
When you play in the horseshoe for the first time, what's the percentage of excitement or intimidation? What's more prevalent, excitement or intimidation?
Honestly, I never look up. I just look down at the field. I don't really got to worry about nobody up there. They're not going to help me win this football game. So I try to just keep my head down. I really try to listen to the noise, but I mean, I think away games play more of a challenge because I mean it's loud and it's hard to communicate. So I mean that was like the biggest thing for me this year was just trying to over communicate. But home games they're actually fun. So I mean I don't really feel any extra pressure or anything.
Is there a chip on this team's shoulder going into the game?
Honestly, I mean, what would you think? I don't know. Probably. I mean, losing a game like that, yeah. So I would think so.
I saw that you said you were a little disappointed to have finished fourth in the Heisman. Is that true? And is that going to drive you this game and then next year?
Yeah, it will. I think it'll do a lot for me. I won't say I'm disappointed. I would just say I'm happy to even be a Heisman finalist, but I don't think it was fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was the truth. But I mean, I think that's not my job. My job is not to critique myself or critique others. I'm just supposed to play. So I mean, but I do have a voice, and I will speak my voice. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and I think it's just making the game fun. Like, who just wants to see somebody just take the fourth place and be all happy with it? I've never been that type of player. I'm a competitor. So I'm not just gonna take that and just be all jolly happy with it. Yeah, it'll drive me for the rest of my life probably. So.
But you do understand, as a guy who's never thrown a pass, what an honor it is to get to New York as a Heisman finalist, right?
It's not. Yeah, to me, it's awesome. I'm blessed, but it's not good enough to me. I mean, I feel like I did a lot this season, but I mean, I could have definitely played better. But I mean, I feel like the stuff that I did do, I'm not saying I should have won. I think Bryce definitely did the most this year. He had the most opportunities. I mean, I think if I play in a couple more games and I, you know what I'm saying, do the right things, I mean, maybe things go the other way. But I'm super happy for my brother. That's my brother right there. So, but at the end of the day, man, I'm super blessed to be where I'm at.
What thing would you say prepared you the most for what you faced this year, whether it be, the year before or stuff you went through in high school or camps or any of that? What do you think really prepared you the most for what you did?
I mean, honestly, just even through the bad and the good, you just got to try to say even kill. So, I mean, I think in my life I've tried to do that even off the field. So, I mean, I think that kind of prepared me was the off the field stuff that I went through. But on the field, I think it's a game. Like, people fail to realize, like, football is just a sport. It's not real life. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like life or death. I mean, for us it is because, I mean, it's our livelihood. But, I mean, like I think some people realize that we're not, like, just on TV. We're here in real life. And we're regular people, you know what I mean? So, like, people approach me all the time, like, why'd you do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I try not to act crazy or do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just try to explain to people, like, you think I didn't want to, you know what I mean? So, like, I know it's a two-way street.
CJ, can you talk about, is there a quarterback whose performance, Rose Bowl impressed you the most?
Yeah, probably like Vince Young, that Texas USC game. I think that was probably the best game probably ever in football, college football. So, I mean, I think that was probably the one that sticks out for me.
CJ, what are your impressions of the Utah defense as you've watched them on tape?
They do a lot of good things. I mean, of course, number 0, Devin Lloyd, he does a great job. I mean, he's an all-world player. I mean, he can play the game. So, and then they got some good DBs. Safety does a great job of reading the eyes. The corner, number 8, he really handsy and he likes to jump stuff. So, and then the D-line, number 42 and 7, do a good job of creating pass rush and doing things like that. So, I mean, it's another week. You always see good opponents, but I mean, at this stage, this level, and of course this game, you have to take it a little more serious.
What do you remember about your recruitment in Utah?
I had a good time with Utah. I went up there on an unofficial visit. So I had a good time up there. I didn't really do too much. I was only there for like half a day, so. But yeah, they treated me well.
How well do you know? Did you get to know Clark Phillips at all?
Nah, I knew Clark just from being a Southern California kid. I went to a couple of his games. They had played with some of my friends at Upland High School, and I went up there and I seen him play. At the time, he was still committed, but I mean, I haven't spoken to him too much.
Just your thoughts on going against him?
I mean, it's like every other week against a good corner. You just got to be prepared. Ain't no hard feelings. I don't really care. I mean, we got other good corners. So.
Did you go to any Rose Bowls as a kid? How far are you from Pasadena?
I'm probably like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. So, I mean, yeah, I never been to a Rose Bowl game. I've been to UCLA games, but not the Rose Bowl.
With Utah's defense, is there any team that you've played this season that kind of compares to what you've seen that they do?
Not necessarily. I mean, they kind of unique in their own aspect because, I mean, they have number 0, Devin Lloyd, who kind of blows everything up. But I don't really try to compare teams, but I think they're a good defense. That's all that matters.
CJ, what does it mean for you to play in the Rose Bowl?
I mean, it's a blessing from God just be able to come back home and go out there and have fun. So I think it's a blessing.
The young receivers that are now going to be playing a lot, what do you sense from them this week in terms of their motivation, how excited they are, any of that?
I think they've been anxious all year to play, and I mean, this is their opportunity to go out there and prove what they can do. So I'm definitely excited for them to go out there and have some fun and just show the world what they can do.
Change your mindset at all with 2 of those top guys targets that you had not being able to play this week?
Nah, we'll be fine. My mindset doesn't change. I'm still trying to go out there and compete and have fun. So I don't really think anything changes.
What do you think the mindset of the team is going into this game? Obviously, you had the playoffs on the line. Everything was there for you guys. And now you got the Rose Bowl.
I think that's just between us as a team. I don't want to really share that.
CG, you got a chance to play in front of family and friends, I would assume, here this week, and I realize they probably traveled to some other games, but this is kind of feels like a little bit of a homecoming. No, I mean you're coming back to where you grew up. As you think about what your career could look like, and if you want to continue to play football, is this game going to be something you think is really special because you have a chance to come back home for the first time as Ohio State's quarterback to play in front of them?
Yeah, I think if you would have asked me when I first committed to Ohio State, would I play in California ever, I would have probably said no, depending on like where the college football playoff was or wherever the bowl game were. But I honestly thought we were going to make the playoff. But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I never would have thought that I would come back home and play, which is an awesome feeling. It just feels regular to me. Like I don't got to worry about the cold anymore. But it's kind of cold out here right now. But I definitely think that it's a blessing just to have my people who couldn't come out to Ohio come out and see me play that I really wanted to come. But so it's just a blessing for me to be able to play back home in front of some fans out here that never got to come see the Ohio State game and in front of my family.
I realize that you individually have had a great season, and the team accomplished at a really high level. Did you set specific goals for yourself at the beginning of the year that you were kind of tracking along the way? If you did, are you willing to share any of those points?
I really didn't set it. Of course, I wanted to be a Heisman finalist. I wanted to win the Big Ten championship. I mean, of course, we didn't do, but that was a big goal of mine. I wanted to win the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, just keep that going in the Ohio State quarterback's history. I don't think the other award that I wanted, I think it was like the Big Ten Silver Award or something like that. I don't think it's announced yet, but that's something I wanted to win as well. But, I mean, there's a couple other things that I didn't get, but those are some of the things that I was thinking about. But I think when it comes to that, you just have to win. It's not really about what you think as a person, or more like what you want as accolades as an individual. If you win, I mean, you could probably get those things.
One more for me. A lot of people talk about Coach Day as being one of the best quarterbacks coaches in the country. How has he made you better? Is it any big picture ideas? Is it like little things each week where he's pointing things out to you from previous film? What has he done to make you feel like, hey, my game is progressing the way I want it to?
I think the knowledge that he has from coming from the NFL. I mean, then he played the position, so I mean that's all things that really help. I mean, he's in there with us, going over film with us, and going over the plays. So I mean, it's all good things. Sometimes you don't get from a head coach. So I think he does a good job of just getting us prepared for that week. And me myself, I don't cut any corners. I don't think he does either. So I think when you have a quarterback and head coach like that, or offensive coordinator, which he is, who don't cut corners and try to just put everything on the line, I think that's a good duo. So.
CJ, if you read the reaction online to Garrett and Chris not playing, the people make it sound like you're playing three tight ends with Jackson. Are they sleeping on the other wide receivers on this team?
I mean, that's their prerogative. Everybody got their own prerogative. So I mean, I just say watch the game. It'll be all right. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, how confident are you in that loaded receiver? We've heard about it for a couple of years now. We get to finally see it.
I'm super confident. I mean, they all do a good job. I think even if in the beginning of the season, if they were needed, they would play well. So, I mean, at this time, they just have to step up and play really well. I know they're confident to do it, so it's just my job to help them, give them balls to catch and give them opportunities to go make plays. So.
Yeah, and one of the big things about making a bowl game is that extra month that you get to develop young players. Have you seen the whole team get better since the last time we saw you on the field?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now throughout the season, you get the 3 team in there. They get to play, and then they get to compete a little bit. You go back to competing in practice, not just going with scouts, and that's kind of boring sometimes. Or just playing with scouts, but when you got that little month off, you can actually compete with the ones again and see people actually try to get better at their game.
I know we talked about the homecoming game for you. Are you able to enjoy this week? Is there any relaxation for you, or is it all football all the time?
You definitely have to relax. I mean, even in Columbus, I relax. Try to do my work as frequently as possible, but I mean, at times you gotta sit back and just enjoy where you're at and just live in the moment and just have fun.
You're one of the guys that we know comes back next year. Have you talked to some of the seniors about trying to send them out the right way?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the biggest goal, is just send the seniors the right way, because they give so much to us, so we have to give to them.
Thanks.
Thanks. like it.
Southern California's got so many standout quarterbacks. What do you think it is about this area that produces so many of you guys?
I mean, I think just the competition that you see. I mean, maybe other quarterbacks have theirs. I'm not sure. They're the only good quarterback in their state. But when you're coming from a place like this, you go to a camp or you go play against somebody that weekend on Friday in high school, you're playing against another good quarterback. I remember probably every game I played in high school, my senior and junior year, was another good quarterback on the other side. So I definitely remember like those times. And I mean, when I went to these big camps and things like that, or bowl games or in high school, I really didn't feel any different of competing, because I mean you compete at a high level even in high school, going against like guys like Bryce DJ, Jaden Daniels, and Shane Zillenworth, like guys like that. I remember playing in high school, so that's definitely something that I think gives us a boost.
You build up any sort of fraternity with any of those guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm really close with Bryce, and then me and DJ are cool. I mean, there's some other quarterbacks I'm cool with, Jaden Daniels, and I try to stay in my lane though. I mean, especially during the season, just try to focus on what I got going on, you know what I'm saying? Because I know playing this position it's hard everywhere, so I don't try to bug anybody.
CJ, what do you think your best throw this season was?
I don't know, man. I think I don't know. I had a couple good catches. People think I don't have any accuracy, so that's cool. So
So the one that comes to mind for me is the throw in Indiana.
yeah, that was a good play. Little cover two Tampa. Mike trying to push, and he was kind of reading my eyes. But I seen him, I thought I could get the ball over him. Jackson did a good job of keeping his route skinny. So I mean, I just had to put it over the Mike, just 1 inch him a little bit. So if people don't think I can throw the ball, throw people open, they think I can only throw when people are wide open. So I don't know. I guess they got to watch the film.
that one, when you broke it, like from where I was sitting, I thought, well, that's got to be picked on.
Yeah.
Like, was there any part when you guys got in the film study where Coach Dennis or Coach Day or whoever, like, this was a gutsy throw, or was that just the expectation on that play?
No, yeah, we make throws like that in practice. I mean, I try those throws in practice. I mean, see if I can do it. But I mean, I feel like God's blessed me with the talent to be able to make those throws, so I'm gonna try it. You know what I mean? I don't want to ever put the ball in harm's way to get intercepted, but I definitely didn't want to do that, of course. But I feel like I can make the throw. So I mean, and then with that, you just got to play with confidence. I mean, if I would have thought I couldn't make it, I probably would have threw the pick. So I think, and that's what I'm telling these young guys this week who haven't played. Like, we go out there just have confidence, because I mean, when you play with confidence, it's kind of you kind of feel unstoppable. You kind of are. You know what I mean?
If I flipped it around the other way, what's the one throw that you wish you had back?
Probably that Penn State one again to Chris.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe the late third or early fourth. I was tired as hell. I had chased down 40 because they didn't blow the whistle on the screen, so I chased them all the way down trying to catch them. And I came back, I threw the drag to Jackson. I was dog tired, and then I throw the pass to him. I try to back shoulder him, but I just didn't put enough on it. I mean, but I know I can make that throw. I just didn't make it then. I wish I did, but that was probably the one that I wish I got back.
You mentioned giving some pointers to the younger guys. How much did that kind of help you, get ready for this moment?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. When you were kind of getting that information from.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. I had guys like Chris, Garrett, who've done it before, you know what I'm saying, Jeremy Ruckert, Darren Mumford, Nick Petit, all the older guys that were on our offense. I mean, they had the utmost respect and confidence in me. So, I mean, I was like, man, I might as well have confidence in myself. So, when you have guys like that, like trying to egg you on, that tell you that you're going to be great or whatever it is, and just tell you to be confident, I mean, I feel like it's your job and your responsibility to do that. So that's what I try to do. I try to just, of course, stay even keel, stay humble. But at the end of the day, I try to just listen to those guys and listen to what they're doing because they've done it before.
CJ had talked to Coach Tojo the other day, and he said that when you were younger, he really had to drill into you about staying in the pocket and not wanting to take off. Well, why was that such maybe a hard thing to, as a young quarterback, to figure out, and how did that help you?
Probably my early years in football, I mean, I was probably just running the ball every play, trying to just really, I mean, I didn't really throw the ball at all. Like, I think I started playing football. I was like 5, 6, 7. I think my first year was I was like 5. And I remember like your arm's not developed then, you can't really throw the ball. So I mean I was just running. And then when I got to Coach Tojo, he was of course in the program, but when I got to him I was probably like I want to say I was probably like 8, 9, 10, so my arm was betterly developed, and he was really honing on me on my footwork and and this is at a young age, so yeah, he was big on me like just getting back there and just trying to be relaxed. So I mean, it really helped me back then, but it helped me now, and even I'm a man, a grown man, so.
CJ, you mentioned how important it was to get the advice from all the older players in the program and be able to follow under their footsteps. What piece of advice do you have for a young player that's just kind of coming into the college ranks or trying to progress their game?
Yeah, I just try to tell them to be confident, do as best they can, and just go out there and have fun. I mean, there's no point in being trying to like play out this world. You just kind of got to do your job every play and try to execute the best as you can. So I definitely think those guys will do that. And my job to them is just to give them confidence and let them know that they're great players and they'll be great on Saturday.
CJ, how does it feel like to come home and play in a big game like the Rose Bowl?
It's a great opportunity for me just to play in front of home fans and people who wanted to come out to Ohio to come see me play but couldn't make the trip. So I definitely think it's a blessing for them to actually come and watch me play. And I got uncles, cousins, my grandma probably gonna come. So I mean, I'm really excited for that. And then of course, like during this COVID world, no one was able to come last year. So I'm definitely hoping that they all get to come and have fun.
How was it like having Justin kind of showing you the ropes and stuff to Ohio?
Yeah, he did a great job of just showing me like what to do, what not to do. He tried to critique me in my game and help me out with that. So I mean, just having guys like that when you first come in as a kid and trying to help you turn into like a young man, I think that's a blessing and it's definitely a positive thing. Thank you.
Last follow-on for a locker room. Who's usually on the aux cord and what's on the playlist?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Who's usually on the aux cord and what's on the playlist?
Usually it's our strength coach, Coach Quinn. He plays like a little bit of everything. He tries to get everybody happy. So I mean, you get some rap, you get some rock. I don't really like rock, but you'll get some like R&B. You'll get a little bit of everything. So it's usually Coach Quinn or our strength coach.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, CJ. Unclip.
Okay, see.
Oh, you got her?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.